Hello, my name is Brian. I'm working on doing a analysis on a high point 40 caliber. From all the different iTube videos I've watched and the different blogs that I've been reading about these firearms, I am trying to have a objective view on these guns in that I like the value of it. However, everyone that's saying anything about these is completely seem prejudiced. As far as weapons, I have several, and it's not a matter of a choice of one or the other. I like them all. However, if somebody's bashing one weapon because it's not as good as their Glock or not as good as their Smith & Wesson, okay, they say it's an ugly gun. What makes it ugly? It's a black gun. I don't see that as being a reason to call it ugly. They're not calling Glocks ugly. I've seen it in a couple times that they said that they're comparing them to a Glock by appearance, not by mechanical function. But if a Glock is ugly, any handgun would be ugly. Okay, so you need a pretty handgun to carry around inside your jacket or in your belt loop. Why does it need to be pretty? Just so you can say, hey, look at my gun, it's pretty. Well, if the gun is going to be pretty, I would think that the assailant that you're trying to defend your home from is going to say, oh, that's a pretty gun, I better not do nothing, as opposed to, oh my god, that thing is awesome and I better stay the fuck away. Well, if I see the barrel of a 40 or 45 caliber or any gun pointed in my direction, I'm going to think twice about doing anything anyway, regardless if the thing even works. I'm not going to say, well, that's a high point, it's not going to go off, so I might as well attack them anyway. Well, it's not a matter of using a weapon to kill somebody, it's a matter of a weapon of deterring somebody. It's a protection, never to be used unless you absolutely need it. You guys that are taking the concealed carry classes, part of your class is alternate methods of deterring an attack other than using deadly force. I see the high point as being valuable. I see tests by other posts that these high points are actually holding up under some real severe misuse, and deliberately trying to blow them up by putting a bolt in the barrel, clamping the barrel shut, filling the barrel with extra gunpowder, and then remotely firing the trigger. Well, yeah, okay, who among us are going to do that in an everyday occurrence? And the other people that are talking about the C9 getting a jamming issue on a regular basis, okay, well, if it's going to jam on a regular basis, until you've run a few boxes through it, and then make your assumption. Another guy that did a test, I think it's Iraq War veteran, nice review. He doesn't like it, he says, but then part of his name of his post is the gun I wish I could hate, something to that effect. And he gets to the point where he sees that the thing is rather accurate, it's a decent enough gun. Then you talk about the gun being too heavy. Alright, you want a gun that weighs less than a pound, something you don't have to tote it around, you don't feel the weight on you. Okay, well, try carrying around a Walker Colt that weighs over 4 pounds. That's heavy. 32 ounces of, sure, it's a pounder and a half, a pound and 3/4, but it's not that bad. My boots weigh more than that. Well, okay, I got big feet, but that's none of the issue. I'm purchasing one just not for the sake of home defense, but to have a nice pistol that I can use to play with as a backup going out hunting, Not that I'm going to use it for hunting necessarily. A 40 caliber is a little bit large to be blowing squirrels out of a tree. I've got shotguns, I got 22s, I've got other rifles, but I've got a couple pistols. I don't really use them. You know, I've got a 32 revolver, I got a 22 revolver, I got a 44 Magnum, I got a 44 Remington. Nice weapons, nice guns. Are they pretty? They don't have flowers on them. They don't have a bunch of etching in the side like some of these upland hunters have. A shotgun that costs $2,000, holds 2 shells, and you go out and shoot pheasants. Okay? My Stoger will do that. Yeah, I've got a Remington, that'll do it too. I've got a Winchester, that'll do it too. I didn't pay half the price of what these people are. I got all 3 guns in different styles. Semi-automatic, pump, the break action. They are fine guns, and I don't see a reason for having to need a $2,000 gun unless you're in competition. Okay, great. I mean, you're using it all day long, every day of the week, as opposed to the casual hunter or the casual plunker. You're going out and firing a gun, a box of 2 or 3, going through it once a month, twice a year. What's the purpose of having a $2,000 shotgun or a $1,000 pistol or even a $700 pistol when you can get a high point for $170, $169? That's not even counting used ones that you may be able to find, but you're getting a gun that has a lifetime warranty, unconditional, no questions asked. Yeah, I've heard people, I've had to send it back to the factory 12 times and the shipping fees. Well, you ship it by freight, it's going to cost you $1 or $2, $3 to ship it. Okay, it can't be that big of a deal. Maybe they're being misused. Maybe they're the reloaders that are using hot loads or the wrong bullets, or who knows what they're doing, but they're having a problem with these different rounds that they're putting through this gun. But then you see other reports that they have no problem. Okay, then we go back to the issue of you get a lemon. Granted, you buy cars, you get a lemon. You take it and you have it repaired, or you have it exchanged after you have 3 or 4 calls. Then you get one that isn't lemon. If somebody had a car and you were to compare it to a gun, you're comparing these high points to a Volkswagen and comparing them with a Ferrari. Well, there's no way you can compare a handgun with an automobile. If you're looking at the quality, look a little closer, like between a Camaro and a Firebird. Same basic thing, does the same basic deal, has the same basic chassis, just looks a little different. Okay, maybe that'd be a closer comparison between Beretta and Stoger. Okay, you have almost the same gun handled by the same actual mother company. Maybe there's a difference between the Stoger Cougar or the Beretta Cougar. Okay, I hope this might be informative. I don't know if I'll get any responses from this, but I just want my view out there so that people can understand that I'm not biased against High Point. I'm not biased against any other gun. I don't want to pay $1,000 for a pistol. Okay, I just as soon buy a $169 pistol that's going to do the same thing I want it to do. Now, if the economy wasn't as bad as it is, I remember buying a 44 Super Blackhawk by Ruger, brand new, 20 years ago, for like $125. You know, that was less than what I'm going to pay for this High Point. But nobody said anything about that then. Now there's an issue with people paying $169 as opposed to $500. Okay, my 44 shells were, I don't know, back then probably $19 a box, and I thought that was high. So I went and bought an ACP 45 Colt just so I could plunk with a 45, and that hunk of junk from Llama was a weapon, but it wasn't anything fancy. It looked like a Colt 1911, but the shells were like $10 a box back then, $9 a box or less. Well, if you have any comments, please leave them. This is B. Manowski. Give me a message, like it or dislike it. Thank you very much. I'm going to try to post videos and different reviews that I make on the SiPoint, and I hope you find them informative. Thank you. Have a good day.